Please adhere to YouTube's selected guidelines before viewing the content of this video. I do not encourage or condone any products, actions, or behaviors shown in this video. All videos are produced in a safe, professional, and controlled environment. Please do not attempt to replicate any actions performed during the video. All actions are performed by professionals.
Alrighty, so today I'm going to be smoking a cigarette in a Target parking lot, which is where I am right now. Target is a higher end than not retail and grocery store chain in the United States. And due to their high prices, I generally don't go to Target all that much. They're just a bit too expensive for me, in all honesty. But I was thinking that it would be funny to smoke a cigarette in a Target parking lot and to make a video all about doing just that. And so as such, well, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing in today's video. Today, I'm going to be smoking a cigarette in a Target parking lot. And today, in specific, I'm going to be smoking one of my American Spirit full-bodied red cigarettes, which match the color scheme of Target a little bit better so than not, if you ask me at least. We can see the carts in the background from Target are indeed red, and we can see the Target sign is all in red as well. I can't think of too many better cigarettes to smoke in a Target parking lot than an American Spirit full-bodied red, and so as such, I certainly am glad that I have a pack of these with me today. But I do suppose I can't actually smoke a cigarette in a Target parking lot if I don't actually, well, smoke a cigarette in a Target parking lot. Now, can I? And so as such, without further ado, I think I should probably go ahead and crack my door open, get out of my car, put my tripod down on the top of my car, and then after that, I think I should probably go and get this pack all opened up, go and actually get to smoking, and actually get to smoking a cigarette in a Target parking lot. But without further ado, let's go ahead and just put my pack on top of my car, just like that. Let's go ahead and crack my door open. Go ahead and hop on out now. And just close my door just like that. Let's go and put my tripod down. And y'all can see I am indeed in a Target parking lot. In fact, I am actually right next to a cart corral, as we can see. And this cart corral, I was gonna actually mention this once I got to smoking, but now that I'm already on the topics of cart corrals are great places to smoke cigarettes, frankly. But not only are you able to park your car next to the cart corral so you don't have like cars on both sides of you and everything like that kind of thing, but also if it's a cart corral like this, it has like some areas on the edge right there and everything like that kind of thing, and as long as no birds have been sitting here and pooping on and everything like that, you can sit on the edge of the cart corral and just smoke a cigarette like that. So you literally have a seat designed in the parking lot just to smoke a cigarette on. I mean, like, you can't get any better than that kind of thing. You really can't get any better than that, frankly put. But I got off topic. First off, before I go ahead and actually sit down on this and actually get comfy, I need to go ahead and actually get one of my cigarettes all lit up. And so as such, without further ado, let's go and get my pack all opened up just like that. Let's go ahead and get one of these cigarettes all out. Go and grab my Zippo lighter out of my pocket. Excuse me, just had a little bit of a burp there. Certainly no complaints on my behalf. And now, without further ado, let's go and get this cigarette all lit up, and let's go ahead and actually get to smoking a cigarette in a Target parking lot. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying? Will smoking a cigarette in a Target parking lot be a better experience than not? Is a Target parking lot a good spot to smoke a cigarette? Well, so far, I gotta admit, it's certainly not a bad spot. I can't say anything with certainty right now, just because I haven't finished this cigarette quite yet. But I can say it's definitely not a bad spot right off the bat, especially since I decided to park my car where I am right now, right next to the cart corral, because I can just sit right here. I mean, like, I got a seat built into the parking lot. The only thing that this cart corral is missing, frankly put, is a cup holder for a handle of Jack Daniels and an ashtray. If I had an ashtray, or like even just a cigarette butt disposal, like if I could just have a trash can or a cigarette butt disposal or something like that kind of thing, this would be absolutely fan-frickin-tastic. This would be absolutely perfect. Now, there is one thing that I do need to acknowledge today. There are two different types of targets. There's normal targets and there's super targets. Super targets are really big. They have a bigger selection than normal targets, and normal targets are just normal targets. They just have a normal selection and everything like that kind of thing. They're mainly a retail store rather than a grocery store, whereas super targets are very much 50-50, a grocery store and a retail store, I definitely have to say. Today, I am in the parking lot of a regular Target, not of a super Target. So the experience of smoking a cigarette in the parking lot of a super Target might be different than the experience of smoking a cigarette in the parking lot of a normal Target. I can't say anything for sure right now, but it could be a different experience, I will acknowledge. And one thing I am noticing about sitting on the side of the cart corral is that my feet are actually starting to go a little bit numb. My feet are starting to go to sleep just a little bit. They're starting to get a little bit pringly and pokey and stuff like that kind of thing, frankly put. So while this is a good spot to sit down just momentarily, or maybe it's a good spot to lean up against, oh yeah, it's definitely a good spot to lean up against for sure, it's not really good for extended periods of just sitting on kind of thing. You do have to balance a little bit more so than not. If you don't have very good balance, this is not really a spot I'd recommend sitting, frankly put, but it's not a bad spot just to sit for a minute or two, but after that minute or two, yeah, your feet will start to go to sleep just a little bit more so than not, frankly put. Now, one negative thing about smoking a cigarette in a Target parking lot, I will just acknowledge right off the bat, is the fact that there isn't really much shade at all. Thankfully, today is not particularly warm. It's only about 80 degrees. It's like an 80-degree high today. And it's been a little bit more cloudy than not today as well. But now that the sun is out, I'm starting to feel a little bit of heat, and I'm starting to really notice that there's not really a lot of shade in this parking lot. Like, just taking a look over here, there is one tree right there with some shade, and there's also some other trees and whatnot, but there's really just not a lot of shade. And honestly, I do think a Target parking lot would be an even better spot to smoke a cigarette if there was some shade. I'm getting more just a little bit jumbled up, frankly put. Smoking a cigarette in a Target parking lot, there's just a lot of depth to it, frankly put. So I'm just getting my words all jumbled up. I've got so much I want to say, you know what I'm saying? I think I should probably go ahead and grab myself a little bit of a screenshot real quick. How do I want to do this? My chin got itchy. Alright, we're gonna go with that. Hopefully that'll work for a screenshot. We will find out, you know what I'm saying? We will find out. I'm gonna go and sit back down on the cart corral. You know, honestly, now that I'm about halfway through my cigarette though, I'm thinking about whether smoking a cigarette in a Target parking lot is really a good experience or not, and whether a Target parking lot is really a good spot to smoke a cigarette or not. And I definitely have to say it's not a bad spot to smoke a cigarette, but there certainly are places that make it a better experience than not. I think if you're sitting next to like a grass patch or a tree like over there and you've got some shade, I think it's a pretty good spot kind of thing. I think if you're sitting next to a cart corral and you're able to like actually sit on the cart corral, I think it's a pretty good spot to smoke a cigarette. But if you're just smoking a cigarette in like just plain old parking lot, it's nothing special. It's nothing special in all honesty, and I do hate to say it, but it is what it is. If I had to guess, at least Target parking lot engineers probably did not design their parking lots specifically to be smoked in. So yeah, it's just not something it's really designed for, frankly put. But either way, not a bad spot, at least where I'm parked right now. And definitely not a bad cigarette either. The American Spirit Full Body Reds are a pretty solid smoke in my personal opinion. And I certainly am enjoying mine today. I'm getting a little bit of a buzz. Certainly no complaints on my behalf, y'all. But, you know, really, my only main complaints I have about smoking a cigarette in a parking lot at Target, in a Target parking lot, is lack of shade, lack of trash cans, and lack of cup holders on the side of, well, actually, wait. I just made a huge revelation. The revelation of a lifetime. I just realized the cart corrals, at least for this Target, do actually have cup holders. As long as there's carts in the parking corral, in the cart corral. Because if we just look right here, we can see there are some cup holders on these carts. So yeah, no, actually, I can't complain about there being no cup holders because there's a cup holder right here. I don't think it would fit a handle of Jack Daniels though. In all honesty, I really don't think it would, but I mean, like, it would fit a hard cider. It would fit a 16-ounce Four Loko or something like that kind of thing. It would fit a can. It would fit a normal-sized drink, just not like a handle. It might fit a 40. I can't comment on that. But, yeah, no, there are actually cup holders. Okay, it didn't even click. I was thinking we need cup holders, like, right here, and I was just really stuck in that mind of thinking, in that way of thinking. But, no, turns out I should have really just thought out of the box a little bit more because there's cup holders right here. Oh, man. I can't complain. I can't complain, y'all. I think the real question is, will it fit an Nalgene? I've got a Nalgene with me today, so let's go and test that. So I've got my Nalgene right here. This is a 32-ounce Nalgene. Will it fit a 32-ounce Nalgene? No, it will not. It will not fit a 32-ounce Nalgene, as we can see. Does not fit. Some points off for that, though, I will acknowledge. So, yeah, if your bottle is the size of a Nalgene, it ain't gonna fit in the cup holder, sadly. But, you know, for any normal size bottles or drinks, I think it'll fit just fine. You know, just needs a little bit more shade. Trash can / ashtray. This is a plenty good bench for me, at least. And, it's got cup holders. You know, this ain't a bad spot to smoke a cigarette at all. Would I consider it to be like the best spot to smoke a cigarette ever? No, certainly not. But, you know, not a bad spot to smoke a cigarette. Smoking a cigarette in a Target parking lot honestly is a better experience than not, I gotta admit, especially if you're smoking a good cigarette like the one I'm smoking right now. Man, oh man. Cannot complain. Well, I do think without further ado, I'm gonna go and take the last sip of my cigarette, and then after that, I'm gonna go ahead and give this parking lot right here a rating, let you guys know whether I'd smoke a cigarette here again, and then after that, I'm gonna go and end the video right there. I was about to take another sip, but there ain't really nothing left. Just stub that on the ground. Thankfully, the pavement under me is pretty good for stubbing cigarettes out on. It's not the greatest, though, I will acknowledge. It's kind of smooth, so the bits of tobacco don't really get pulled out by the concrete, like with some sort of textures of concrete. But, you know, it's not bad by any means. It's better than dirt. It's better than dirt, I will acknowledge. But I'm gonna go and just throw my cigarette butt in my car, throw that in my ashtray after this video. Gotta make sure I'm not littering or anything like that, even though there's no trash can provided by Target. Can't be littering, of course. But what is my rating for this parking lot? And I do want to acknowledge that not all Target parking lots are the same. They're not all the same. So your experience smoking a cigarette in a Target parking lot may be different than mine. I am specifically at a Target in Garner, North Carolina. So your experience may be different than mine, I will acknowledge. But for this specific Target parking lot, at least, you know, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to give it a rating of a solid 3 out of 4 as a spot to smoke. It's a big enough parking lot where you can kind of find a spot without anybody else if you want to. And it's not a bad spot to smoke at all. You got a little bit of a bench kind of thing. You got some cup holders. You know, it's a pretty solid spot if you ask me. It's a 3 out of 4 though, just because it's not like the most amazing spot in the world. There are better spots out there to smoke cigarettes. My rating scale goes from a 1 to 4, with 1 being like, this is a terrible spot to smoke cigarettes, 2 being like, you know, It's okay, it's not to my personal preference. Some people might like it, but I don't really like it. I wouldn't really want to smoke a cigarette here again. I'd much rather go somewhere else. A 3 out of 4 is like, you know, this is pretty good. I'd smoke a cigarette here again, but it's not like the best spot ever. And a 4 out of 4 is like, oh my God, this spot was designed to smoke cigarettes. That's like smoking cafe levels kind of thing. For me, at least, this spot is a 3 out of 4. It's a good spot, but it is missing some necessary items for smoking cigarettes in, frankly put, but I think it's just a fact of the design, in all honesty. Is this parking lot, it was designed to be a parking lot. It's not designed to be a smoke spot by any means, so it's really no big surprise that it is missing a couple essential items, in all honesty. But I think that's pretty much all I had to say for this video. I did indeed smoke a cigarette in a Target parking lot during this video today. Certainly hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video where I smoked a cigarette in a Target parking lot. If you guys have indeed enjoyed watching this video, of course, please make sure to like and subscribe for more content. I have my Instagram, my book, my merch, my P.O. box, and my second channel, all in the description down below. Go check it all out. You know, thank you so much for watching, y'all. Till the next one, stay safe in peace and have a great one. Yes, sir, yes. Halfway through my yes sir, you know what I'm saying, my thumb accidentally pressed the record button, so I cut part of my yes sir, you know what I'm saying, out of the video by accident. So I'm gonna go and end the video right here with a yes sir, you know what I'm saying. Thank you very much for watching today's video, y'all. To the next one, stay safe and peace and have a great one. Yes sir, you know what I'm saying.